is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. This is going to be a reading about love and relationships and really what to expect this fall. So what's in store for you for your love life this fall. I feel like if you're single, this is going to be the most ideal reading to land on, because it's probably going to talk about what's coming into your life. However, I don't know, anything's possible, and we'll see what your pile brings. But yeah, this is definitely going to help shed some light on your upcoming future love life this fall, and or anytime. If you land on this reading, then I think it's probably, and you're looking for answers about your relationship, whatever, I think this is a good place to land for that kind of information. Okay, we have 4 different tarot cards here. Each tarot card goes to a different deck, so it's really just a visual thing. Pick the one that speaks to you, that calls to you. It could be the colors, the pattern, the total lack thereof. This is just a pink card, very basic and minimalistic pictures on the deck, but a nice deck all the same. Okay, pick your card and jump to your timestamp in the description, and your love and relationship reading is coming up. Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. I'm going to jump right into it. I'm just calling this High Hopes for this fall, and it's really just, it's about love, it's about relationships, and what could possibly be coming your way this fall. So this was the deck that you picked. It was the all pink deck, and you, yeah, this is what you picked. Okay, so this first card is going to be, this was the card that I had out like this, and this is, we could call it a signifier card, but I'm going to ask this to be the card that you can, this is the theme that you can look forward to this fall regarding romantic relationship status. And I just saw what it was 2 seconds ago when I accidentally turned it over, but I'm glad, because it's very fitting, and it's the Two of Cups, because the Two of Cups it really is a card of romance. It's a card of love. It's a card of not just friendship, but connection, just that deeper connection, absolute communication, feelings. It's a great card if you're looking for something romantic to happen this fall. It's a great card. So this would say that love is absolutely coming your way. And I'm just gonna make this a little interesting. I'm gonna put a card next to that, and I want to see, in regards to love coming your way, I want to see what this person could be like. And if this is someone you are dating or seeing or have a crush on, this could be an energy that they're going to step into, or if you want to see I don't know, maybe a change out of them, this could be what you might see from them, or this would represent the person that you're going to meet. And we have North, expansion. So there's something, this card does make me think of water, and the Cups absolutely being a water sign, but there is something kind of exciting or unknown. When I think of the North, I think of uncharted territory. I think of adventure. There's definitely this icy kind of blue theme here. So there's someone, I think someone who's very good at communicating, someone who has very clear and clean intentions. I think it's someone who knows what they want. And there is kind of this compass or this theme here of travel or expanding. And I feel like that's something you do when you have a plan. So this reminds me of someone who really has a focus and a plan. They're not just out there. This would be the opposite of the person that just wants to, hook up for a couple days or a weekend or whatever. There's something deeper and more sincere and genuine kind of interest comes with this card. So yeah, and just the colors. There's this very moody, but also there's just something romantic about it. It's just the swirls of blue. It makes me think of water and feelings and emotions and kind of this romantic outpouring. So yeah, I would say so far for fall, you are absolutely on the right track. Let me see where you're at right now. I want to see you in 3 cards right now so we can get an idea of where you could be going. So we have Judgment, Knight of Wands, and 6 of, I always lose my mind with the V1 or the X1 or IV or, okay, and 6 of Pentacles. So right now, okay, so romantically speaking, just looking at these three cards, I think you've been either on the receiving end of a relationship or someone who's just really kind of putting you through it. Someone who's making you question everything, someone who maybe seemed too good to be true at one time, and now there's just this like contemplation, this over-evaluation that's coming along with everything. And maybe you even went through a phase, or you're in this kind of phase of thinking like, where did you go wrong? What could you have done better? What's the like, how could this have worked out differently if I did this? Or just, that's what I see under the Judgment card, but it's less of like a, how can you better your life? How can you strengthen your connection? It's more of like kind of asking yourself where you messed up along the way. I do think if I see your person as the Knight of Wands, or the energy of like the person that maybe you've been just a little bit lost or like too wrapped up in, it's a coming in hot energy. It's an energy that feels great, I think, when it's happening or when it's like starting to unfold, but it can be a lot to deal with. And it also rarely sustains this Knight of Wands kind of energy. So it's probably gone from this and transitioned into something less exciting, which leaves you with more of like the questions and more of the, where did this go? What happened? Why isn't it like how it was? And then the Six of Pentacles, there's this like this give and take, or this feeling that maybe you really want to reassess things. You want to really see like, what's the value in this? Is this worth it? Am I giving more than I'm getting? I just feel like this is like this assessment. So I would say in these three cards, if this is your current situation, you've probably been dealing with someone who isn't ideal, I don't know if they've like broken your heart or anything that extreme, but I definitely think that they've put you through a lot of energy, and you've thought probably way too much about them, and they've made you kind of question things about yourself, which just, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think this is like how your average relationship looks and functions. So what the person that would be coming into your world, relating to this Two of Cups energy, is it's different than this. It can absolutely have the like, sorry, I always get out of breath when I read. It can absolutely have like the like romantic feeling that this felt like. It doesn't mean that it's going to be like boring or toned down or any of that. It's just going to there's going to be more of like an authenticity, that it's going to feel more sincere, and you're going to feel that, I think, right away. So yeah, I want to see a little bit more about what you can expect from this Two of Cups, this North expansion person, what this energy feels like. And then we're going to try to even get a time frame for this. So let's see. I want to see this person in another card. So we've got death, and death doesn't mean anyone's dying at all. But to me, I like the death card. I mean, I hate the word death, but that's not what it means. To me, death is like, or the death card represents, it's a rebirth. It's like the card that signifies one door closes, another opens. In other words, for me, this is the card to say like, you will be starting fresh with this energy, this person, this way they make you feel, this like mindset they bring to the table, this energy, whatever it is, it's different than this, and you're going to put this to rest. Like, you're going to put this to bed. It's going to be the death of this whole theme that's been playing out for you for however long, and this really is kind of like the rebirth. Like, this person here represents this new everything in your life, new direction, new thoughts. It's like that, looking up at the sky and the constellations and like learning something new, evaluating things differently. There's just a whole new path set forth with this person. And I do think it's going to put an ending to either like maybe old habits or old ways that just didn't serve you, like something in your relationship that was, or something in how you handled relationships. It just isn't, it's tiring, and it's not, it really hasn't gotten you anywhere, and I don't think it's really ever going to get you anywhere if you were to stay on that track. So yeah, this is positive, and it's very positive. This is kind of sad. I get it. It's not uncommon. It's like a dime a dozen for anyone who's bummed about their relationship, or bummed about like some guy that just never delivered on whatever it was they said or meant. Like, this is so clear and common, but this is actually quite exciting. And for you to like move forward in a new and exciting way is, I don't know, it's a nice message. So I want to see once you, well, actually, I want to see like some signs. How are you going to know that you're meeting this, like that this person's entering your world? Like, what are some signs from spirit that you're going to, like when you get these signs or these feelings or these events, that's going to be, oh my gosh, that's going to be a sign that this is entering your world. It's starting to happen. So let's ask spirit for like a tip off of what that would look or feel like. So we have the Devil. It's two pretty intense cards, but it's not so bad. We have the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so this is very clear to me. When you feel like, let's just say that this up here, this person represents the Devil, this energy, this is, and I hate like the Devil, if that sounds too heavy or scary, because I don't think this person actually is the Devil. In fact, I know they're not, but they just have an energy that really isn't getting you anywhere, and it's hurting you. It's probably causing you more harm than good. So we'll just associate that with something not pleasant, not good, and then that represents the Devil card. This has been taxing. This has been burdensome. That's what this Nine of Wands card is. This has been a lot. It's been something you've had to constantly push through, something you've been working on, and really it's gotten you nowhere. It's been in vain. These efforts that you've been putting forward towards this relationship, this whatever this is up here in three cards, it's really gotten you nowhere, which is why you're here right now asking about what's coming this fall, and you got a really nice message about that. But I would say that you're gonna know that this amazing, exciting energy is actually coming into your life when you really do start to feel and embrace that, like, this has been tired, this has been played out, this you're done with this. Like when you're really ready to look at this phase, this person as someone that you absolutely want no thing to do with, in the way that you would kind of feel about the Devil, when you see this as being tired, when you see it as just being exhausted, that's when I think you're going to know that this person's on their way. This is the gift. And yeah, you're going to put this to rest when that happens. And it's funny because we have the Six of Pentacles here, which to me is you being in that mindset of constantly like questioning, yeah, is this worth it? Am I putting in way more than I'm getting? Is it worth it? I mean, this could be everything from like lending someone money, like the kind of most literal meaning of this, or it could just be like, I've done all these favors for this person. I'm always there for them. I'm always the one that's kind of the sacrifices are always being made by me. Like, what is for what? That's what I see there. Here, the Seven of Pentacles is, I think when you see this as actual work, when you see that this has been, it's been a burden, it's been work, this person gets you absolutely nothing. You even see them now as being less than good, less than great. They're no longer this perfect human. That's when you know you're going to move into this space, which really is like new romance, new person. And this North expansion card, when I turned it over, it was like I just stared at it and I felt something. I just didn't really know what to say, but there's something so pretty about these swirls of color. It's like such a fresh, cleansing feeling. I think it's probably supposed to represent the Northern Lights in this picture. And I can just imagine if you were like looking up at the Northern Lights, you would just feel like, washed, cleansed. And if you had someone next to you while you were watching the Northern Lights and experiencing that, I think it would be this like, just epic feeling of like, this is my person, we're doing this, we're experiencing this, it's something new. And there's just this feeling of being cleansed. So I like this. I think it's very clean. It's simple, but it's also exciting. The expansion piece is exciting, and that is sexy. This isn't something boring. This isn't someone that's going to want to like, read poetry to you at night. This is someone who's going to want to like get you moving and get you like jazzed about the things they're into and want to learn about the things you're into. And then who knows, maybe you do travel up north. Maybe you do go on this like expedition together. I don't know, but I dig this. But you're going to put all this to rest. And when you start to see that this is these three cards, which is burden, taxing, too much work, and really just not a good person, that's when you're gonna like really step into this. And I'm gonna get, let's see, what am I gonna do? I have this deck of moon magic cards, and like, I don't know, 3/4 or more of the cards have a moon cycle, and I can relate that moon cycle to timing. And if they don't have a moon cycle, they have a goddess, a moon goddess, and a message. So I really don't know like the meaning of all the goddesses in this deck, and it didn't come with a, something to learn by. So sorry if you get a goddess, you're just going to get a fun message if that's the case. But if not, let's ask for timing. So just because this might feel like, maybe you're feeling this now, and maybe you aren't necessarily going to meet this person like the second this reading ends, but that means it is coming soon. If you're embodying this energy here and you're ready, then yes, I would say absolutely you're going to meet this person soon. I think fall is going to be a great season for you, and I hope that fall goes into a great winter and then a whole new year of just excitement and romance and fun and all that. But let's just, for funsies, let's get a timing card of once you feel this, once you get like square with this emotion, let's find out when after that you can expect to kind of meet this person and have them enter your world. And we're going to take this card. It's a moon goddess card. Sorry. Okay, so moon goddess Hecate. I know my shadow side, and I work to willingly transform aspects of it. So I'm going to get another card until we get timing, but this is a message, and I'm trying to think, knowing your shadow side, I think this is, you were into this person for a reason. And I think whenever we fall for people who are like a little more toxic, a little more problematic, there's a reason why we fall for them. Usually it's probably quite simply because they're incredibly hot and sexy and you can't resist them and you just get tangled up in that. But like, why can't you cut them free when it's time to? I get like falling for them, but then it's the holding on to it that I think is the shadow side of you, the work that your shadow work that you need to do. So I would say like really dig into why you're at this reading in the first place. Like, why is this? And if this is speaking to you, why? What do you think got you so twisted about this person? So, okay, that's it. Let's get another card. I'm going to shuffle these and let's see if this is a timing card to, actually send you off with something. And this is, okay, waning gibbous. I gather more wisdom each day. So the waning is the ending, and the gibbous, oh my gosh, I absolutely know this. The gibbous is right after the full moon. So this is going to be about the 6th day after the full moon. You are going to find this person. So this is right before you get to like the sort of like quarter moon, I would say. Why am I losing my mind about the moon? But yes, I would say about 6 days after your full moon, you are going to find yourself, once you've embodied this energy, you're going to find yourself probably meeting this person or thinking you met this person and diving into that a little bit. So I think this is an exciting reading. I'm sorry that I kind of lost it with the moon cards a little bit, but there's absolutely there's a fun message here for you. There really is. And I think you have an exciting fall to look forward to. If that speaks to you, then I think this is good. And so, yeah, look forward to that full moon and look forward to just moving on from this, and something exciting is coming your way. Thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me read for you. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. This is a reading about love and relationships, and I am connecting it to this fall, which we are just a few days into, and I'm calling it High Hopes for this fall, what you can look forward to regarding your love life or your relationship status or whatever, but definitely something about love and relationships. So this is the deck you chose. This is the card that was on top, or just like this. So this is going to be like a signifier card, this is going to represent the theme of your sort of love life and relationship status or energy this fall. So let's hope it's a good one. Okay, so 5 of Wands. I don't know. We'll get into it. I wouldn't say it's a great one, but I would say that we will. It'll mean something. 5 of Wands is conflict. It is that of being conflicted. It's not fighting. And here's the thing, like, actually, just when I said that, I actually think this means something. This is like friendly fire. This is, if you're with someone or if you want to be with someone, but let's say you have there's something you need to work through. There's a fight you guys need to have. This is the beginning of either that blowout that absolutely needs to be had, and so many things will be resolved and your relationship will be all the better for it. Or this is kind of that almost friendly, sexy banter, but it leads you somewhere. There's a purpose to it. There's a point to it. It's not just empty. There's love behind it. It's intentional. And I like this because either this is a good omen in the sense that maybe you do need to start speaking up more. Maybe you do need to be more communicative in your relationships. Maybe you are looking for someone that you can kind of feel comfortable expressing yourself with. If you're someone who tends to bite their tongue or not really speak up or say what you're feeling, this is a card to say you're gonna step into this. You're gonna get to experience just better communication, and yeah, you've got a voice. Maybe you want to speak up about things. Maybe you feel like you've always been a doormat in your last relationships and it's just time to, I don't know, just find your voice. So I like this. And there is something actually kind of hot and sexy behind this, because I feel like those dynamics where you do actually have that fight, or when you can fight, when you can argue, or when you can just scream and yell and you're all the better for it, it's awesome. They're the best kind of relationships, I think. So, okay, 5 of Wands, friendly fire, conflict, whatever. Okay, this is going to be the person that, if you have someone in your mind now that you want to have this kind of banter and this dynamic with, then this is the energy I think that person's going to step into and really help both of you guys get to this place. Or this is going to be the person that you're going to meet, the energy they're going to hold, and they're also going to be someone that you have tremendous communication with. And I really think that this transpires into also a great physical connection with. I think there's a lot. This is a loaded it's exciting. There's a lot more here than just you're going to be conflicted. And then that's a whole different thing if we approach this as you're going to be conflicted, but I don't think this is about you being conflicted. I think this is about a very fun form of conflict that you're going to experience. Okay, here's the energy, the biome connection. Sometimes I really have to think about what this means. There's a sense of okay, connection, yes, but reaching a connection, reaching a as a result of speaking up, as a result of having this kind of a dynamic with someone, these arguments, these fights, these conversations, this amount of tension, things get accomplished, things get done, things get completed. There isn't this something hanging out and existing here unfinished, or 10 different little conversations or issues that you brought up and never finished. I just feel this is it's rewarding, and it's a sense of accomplishment within your communication patterns. And that didn't really sound sexy or exciting, but if this speaks to you, then you're going to get excited about this, because you're going to realize that the person you meet, or the person that you sort of take things up with right now, is going to be someone that you experience more than you've ever experienced with anyone else. There's this kind of whole world that you're going to experience with this person. And I mean that in mentally, physically. There's just this someone's going to show you the world, and you're going to show them okay, anyway. I see what this means, and there is something beautiful and sexy and exciting about it, but I'm obviously struggling to put it with a word, but I hope it means something. And I do see the connection to this card. So I want to see you or your dynamic, like relationshiply speaking, in 3 cards right now, and see if this kind of tracks for where you at. So we have the Hermit, we have Wheel of Fortune, and the Hangman. That's funny. So we basically have 3 major cards. There's 22 of these in the whole of 78 cards. So it is kind of funny that 3 just pop up. So we have the Hermit, the Hangman, and the Wheel of Fortune. So we have 3 major cards here. And what do I see for these cards? We have 8, 9, and 10, or 7, 9, and 10. There's a journey for you, but this journey, let's say, because it's so easy to say, oh, you're on a journey. I feel like you're on a quest. I feel like you really are looking for your place in this world. And maybe your place does have to do with finding a partner. Maybe you are, for lack of a better word, desperate to find your person, to start a family, to be like settled with someone, to kind of like build a home, build a life, get married, whatever it is. I can see that. I can see that there is this very, very deep longing for you to kind of complete this path that you're on. The Hangman tells me that you've been probably working very hard at finding a partner. The Hermit tells me that you have, I don't know, it's probably bummed you out beyond words. You've probably had moments of like thinking you'll never find your person. Maybe this has like really been the energy you've been holding on to lately. Maybe you're starting to think like, what if I'm just single forever? Or what if I, never find my person, never have a family, never have these things? Is it even a big deal? And maybe you're then on a more positive note, you might get into this like, okay, well, if it is, if I'm not supposed to have these things, that sucks. I've always wanted them, but then that's the path I was, that I'm supposed to be on. I just feel like this is your energy. And although I do think you've been relatively positive throughout this, I do think you're deeply longing for your place with someone. And not just like you want someone to cling to. It's more than that. I think you really see this as like a jumping off point. Like when you have these things, your life will start to fall into place. You will feel more complete. Then it'll start to feel like your world. And I don't know why, if this hasn't worked out for you, why it hasn't, or why you've been in such a state of like pause or limbo, like someone's really just pressed the pause button on your love life. Maybe it's felt even longer because maybe other people around you are like progressing or, experiencing things that you wished you were experiencing or going through. I don't know. But this feels very separate than like the fact that you're going to experience someone that you have all these lovely ups and downs with. And I do think it's going to be things are going to feel like it's coming full circle for you. This biome reminds me very much of the Wheel of Fortune. It's just this give and take. Everything feeds into it. Everything's a result of something else. There's just this very much, it is its own little ecosystem and world, and it's your world and it's your ecosystem, and it's going to be what you have with your partner. So if this speaks to you, if this kind of has been if you do feel like there's been a pause button, and if you've been just really contemplating like, what would life be like if I didn't have a partner? What if I never meet anyone? What if this and that? Then I really think you're going to. I do. And I do want to think that it's going to happen for you this fall. And there's nothing for me to think that it wouldn't, but I really think you're going to meet someone that excites you. And I think that maybe this is like, you're going to know it's this person when you find someone that you can have this very fun, friendly, sexy banter with. And I keep coming back to banter because there's this like, some people have like that dry, sarcastic, kind of witty sense of humor. Maybe that's something you've always loved, whether you realized it or not. And maybe you have a friend or a coworker, or you meet someone online or something, and you start interacting in this way, and you realize that it's that kind of energy that you really feed off of. And maybe just in like communication with this person. You have like these little arguments, but they're fun and they push you guys to like push yourselves and just communicate more. That I think is a real sign that you've met this person and that you aren't going to be alone forever if that's something you really don't want. But I do think you've been kind of like in a zone that's been kind of heavy and intense, and maybe you have been fairly antisocial. Maybe this has been something that's really been bumming you out, whether you kind of realize it or not. But I do think there's a big, lovely world out there for you. And if the relationship is something that you really seek, then I absolutely think you'll find it. So I'm not going to ask the same question I asked on the last reading, because I want to see kind of like the near future for you, because I want to give you some hope, something to get excited about, something to look forward to. So I want to see your near future, and then we're going to, like, why is this going to be great? Like, show me how exciting your future, what does it look like? And we're going to stick with fall. So we have the Fool here, which is fun. It's absolutely the first card of the deck. It's labeled 0. It's the beginning of an adventure. Oh my gosh, is this literally, these are all major cards. If this is a major card, it's not, thank goodness. That is so funny. Okay, so you absolutely can look forward to an adventure. And I have to call out the Empress card. This is my favorite card in every tarot deck. It is like the epitome of like feminine beauty, sensuality. It is like just the ultimate like sensuous, sexy, beautiful card. It is all about like fertility and just like abundance and beauty. And there's another word that fecundity. It's just, there's another word that starts with an F that's escaping me, but it is absolutely a card to say that if you want the relationship, the love, the abundance that kind of comes with that, the richness, yes. And it is totally a card of fertility as well. So, I mean, it's, it's a lot to speak to because that's not really the point of this, but, who knows, maybe it's a good omen if, a family or something along those lines is something that you really, really want. This could be absolutely a good omen to say that things could be, unfolding for you in a way that could lead you in that direction. So I, really like this. I see you clearly in these cards, and the Ace of Wands, it's hope, it's newness, it is like freeing your mind, it's kind of dropping this mentality. It is also that sharpness of mind, that like that confidence. It's speaking up, it's your voice. Yeah, so you could very well take on a new mindset. You could wake up one day and be like, I feel different. I feel like things are all of a sudden amazing. I feel beautiful. I feel like rich and abundant. It's just, I feel like I could set off on this adventure. I hope this is what's coming to you, and I hope that you'll recognize it when it's here, because it is truly a sign that you're going to just embody a whole new energy. And I think your outlook, the things like, everything's going to change, and you are going to meet, if this is what you want, it's going to be someone that you have this very kind of sexy give and take, push and pull, but very positive dynamic with. And I think there's going to be a lot of communication, and the Ace of Wands speaks to that as well. Yeah, so let's see what else we have for you. I want to see, like, how will you know when this is happening? Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to use these cards. What's a sign from Spirit that, like, you're going to really, like, know when things are going to start happening for you, when things are going to start clicking? And I do think you're going to wake up almost and just be like, I feel different. I feel lit. I feel alive. I feel like I'm just ready to do anything. Maybe you're like not a big runner and you're just going to wake up and feel like going for a run, like, or just baking a cake one day when you're not a baker or something. Like, I feel like it's going to be something like that, where you almost could overlook it, but that is truly a sign that, like, you're dropping this previous mindset and it's like stepping into a new energy. So let's find your kind of like a sign that this is happening, just in case you overlook it. So we have Temperance. I can't even get over these major cards. Like, this is, sorry, it's like every card's a major, and I can't even tell you how much I shuffle this deck, so it makes no sense. Of all these cards, there's two that aren't majors on the deck. So we have the Wise One, which is basically the Hierophant, and we have Temperance. And so the fact that we have all these major cards, you're very complex. I don't want to say you're all over the place, because that's kind of like negative, and I don't want it to be negative, but I do think you might have a lot going on. There might be a reason why, if a relationship or a family has been maybe on the back burner, or it hasn't been something that you've like fully attained, maybe you're incredibly busy with career or school or family. I just feel like there's a lot of things that you have going on. There's definitely a richness to your life. There's definitely a complexity. You might, without having multiple personalities, it's like you have multiple faces. I think that you have friends who see you one way and colleagues who see you another, maybe like partners that see you another way, family. I just think that you're very like multifaceted, and I do think it can be exhausting, and it maybe has gotten to a point where it's too much, and maybe that's not conducive for like the relationship. Like you have to kind of tone it down and chill and almost like pick a lane a little bit, because there is a lot here. And I wouldn't say any of it's like particularly heavy or bad. I think things go pretty well for you, but you have to just find a direction and kind of stick with it. Like almost pick a personality here that you want to go with, and then be that person and try like sticking majority of the time to that energy, instead of like embodying everything or being everything all at once. I don't know. It's almost like you have these people that rely on you, and this career, and these colleagues, and this family, and this home, and like all these things that demand things of you. And yeah, it's a lot. So, oh my God, what did I ask when I even got these two cards? Like, how will you know this is happening? What can you look forward to? So Temperance, I'm just going to say there is going to be a sense of balance. You are going to feel yourself, I think, wanting calm, wanting stillness. You're going to start to realize, like, I do want to, I'm just going to say pick a lane. I want to simplify things. I want to slow down. I want to quiet my mind. I want to not worry so much about one thing or go 100 miles an hour all the time. I just think you're going to have a true desire for balance, harmony, simplicity, kind of like a calmness, a oneness, whatever that means. If you find yourself like enrolling in a yoga class or something, this could also be a sign that like you just want to chill. This is definitely a sign. And with this comes the inspiration. I think when your mind gets quieted, you are then going to all of a sudden be like, yeah, I can't believe it, but I just want to bake this cake. I want to start like propagating succulents or something just random that you haven't really wanted to do, but now you feel this draw to it. And although that is also just another form of chaos, it's just, you never would have reached it if you didn't have a moment to chill. It's like a peaceful exercise. So yeah, and the Wise One, it goes along with this. This is like seeking knowledge. It's almost like trying to get answers, trying to quiet your mind. And you know, it's kind of like that desire to meditate, that desire to like tap into like some greater source, to just calm down, quiet, look at the big picture, be in the moment, whatever it is. There's definitely an element of like stillness and being in the moment. And I do think you're going to start to take on these projects or have a desire to do something that kind of centers you. So yeah, like yoga, running, baking, like something that forces you to focus on one thing. When you find yourself doing that, that's when I think you're gonna start fighting with someone, and that's your person. There is something slightly disjointed about this, but that's the message in the cards, and I don't even know how else to say it, but when you start to feel that energy take over you, I really think that's when you're not only going to be like ready to do this, but I think it's going to be sort of like maybe the divine timing to look around and open your eyes and figure out who this person is, this Five of Wands energy. And I do like the Five of Wands energy, and I just say a guy because I just assume that it's women listening to this, but I do think it's a male energy. It's a confidence. It's someone who is just confident and not afraid, but also I think fair and honest, and there's passion behind it, and there's genuine interest. It's like that interest to get to know you. There's a lot of passion behind this card that I'm not tapping into or like deeply describing, but I will just say there's an excitement and there's a passion here. So also if you get excited hearing that, then I really believe this is what's in store for you. And it's going to feel very completing. It's going to complete a cycle for you. Okay. So we have these moon cards, and most of them have a moon phase, a phase of the moon, which I can kind of give to timing, which is what I'm going to try to do here. You might get one of the goddess cards, and if that's the case, I'll keep pulling until we get a timing card. But I just want to get a timing of when this calmness might come over you, and then as a result of that, when you're going to start to maybe, hopefully, ideally kind of meet this person or realize that this is the person. Maybe you already know this person. Maybe you see them every day, but maybe you'll have that one moment where you're like, holy shit, like we just argued about, I don't know, coffee or something, and it was like hot somehow. And yeah, okay. So here is, let's get some timing. We've got, okay, waning gibbous. I literally just pulled this card on the last one, and you saw me shuffle. So here's how it goes. I gather more wisdom each day. This is basically like 6 days after the full moon. So the full moon is closing in, it's getting smaller, and this is about 6 days after the full moon. So I don't know what season or what month in fall this is going to happen, but it will happen. This will happen. This will take place. You'll, bake that cake, plant that tree, sign up for a yoga class. And then I would say the full moon after that, this could happen on a full moon. It could happen a couple of days before a full moon, but you could really look forward to 6 days after the full moon of finding this person. And, take this with a grain of salt. Like if this whole reading tracks and, 6 days after the full moon, you don't meet your person, don't just debunk all this, because I really do think there's a message here, and there really is a very hopeful message that this is coming your way this fall. And there's 3 months in fall, so it might be the very last frickin' full moon of fall. Who knows? It could be the first, it could be the last, could be the middle one. Anyway, hope you liked this reading, and would love to hear your comments, or subscribe, do whatever you feel like doing. It really helps me, and I'm looking for the help. So thank you very much, and I hope to read for you again. Goodbye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. This is reading about love, relationships, what you can look forward to this fall. I'm calling it high hopes for this fall, what's in store for your love life. So yeah, the last 2 readings I think they were pretty good, and I am excited to see what this reading brings for you. So this is going to be like your signifier card. It was the card that was in the 3rd position placed down, and this is going to be like the theme of your love life and like romantic energy this fall. So yeah, let's see what this is. And death. Sorry, I cannot stress enough, this has nothing to do with death. This is actually very hopeful and good and beautiful, because the death card it came up in one of the last readings too, so don't worry about it. You're not alone. The death card to me, and it is, if you look at this, there's nothing scary about it. It's rebirth. It's rebirth. It's beautiful. It's not dark. It is, you can reemerge. Your love life can reemerge. Your relationship can be, well, I don't know if it can be like resurrected. This to me tells me that if something needs to die, and I mean, even saying this is like so unnecessary. We're not talking about a person. We're talking about like an energy, a vibe, a feeling, a relationship, like live and let die. Or if you want something to have like a rebirth, then this is also a huge possibility. But if you are like down right now, if you are miserable in a relationship, if you are miserable single, if you have like a very crappy outlook on love and relationships, this is absolutely a sign that's you're done with that. That energy is going to leave you. You are leaving that space, that body. Or if you're in a crappy relationship right now, and I mean, that can mean so many different things, that you are going to get out of that dynamic, and you're going to have a whole clean, lovely, beautiful slate in front of you. So it is a little heavier because it just implies that a change needs to be made, but it is positive in so many ways. So if you're here and this speaks to you, then I think it's really powerful. So oh yeah, and I was gonna say, let's get a card. This is like a kind of like a personality card. This is gonna be like, what's the energy of the person that's gonna be coming into your life that's gonna kind of help you with this? And I'm really trying to think, because in the last readings that was exactly the question I asked, but the Death card tells me it's like this is more about you and less about someone else, but this is about love and relationships. And I do think fall is going to bring like happiness for you. I don't know in what capacity. I can't say that you're going to meet the love of your life, but I think you're going to be very, very happy this fall. You're going to feel like you have been just like there's going to be this sense of renewal. And instead of associating this with a person, I want to see, what's this going to feel like this fall? Like, what are you going to feel this fall? And okay, moon, darkness. So you know what, you've been going through something. There's a heaviness here. However, you are going to feel illuminated. The moon is illuminated. It is mysterious. You are mysterious. There is an intensity to you. No one can deny that. There is this beauty, this wonder, this mystique. I think you have all this. And the darkness to me is like, it's almost like this emergence of light. I don't know what to say about the fact that darkness is the word that's coming over the moon here, but the moon isn't dark. The moon is illuminated. And although the moon is shrouded in mystery and all sorts of crazy witchy things, I really think there's going to be this kind of like this new you, this reemergence, this kind of like uprising, there's something very new that's coming your way. And it is mysterious. I can't explain it, but this card, like if I just look at the picture here and I take the death out of it, it's something you're like giving yourself up. Like, let me have this new experience. Let me have this new life. Let me have this new path. Like, it's like you're asking for something new, and that new can be exciting. It can be love. It can be like a fresh slate. I don't know. So, but there is something very pure and very beautiful and very hopeful about this dynamic here. So yeah, I want to see, I mean, dare I ask, I'm going to ask to see kind of your situation in 3 cards. And let's see if these are like 3 of the heaviest cards in the deck. Okay, we have the High Priestess, we have the 4 of Swords, and we have Strength. Not bad cards at all. There is a definite like strength and bad bitch energy that comes off of this. This is someone who knows themselves. The High Priestess is one of the cards in the whole deck to represent mystery. It's absolutely moon, it's water, it's like it's the card that is purely shrouded in like that, the mysteries of the feminine mind, the feminine self. There is this part of you that is questioning or unknowing or wants something different. Even the 4 of Swords, this is a card of like rest, rebirth, stillness, regeneration. That's another thing here. There's this thing about rebirth that I can't quite find another word for right now, but I do think you have been really tapping in or experiencing something. You've been going through, something's been taking a lot out of you. Mentally, physically, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's been a relationship that has absolutely pushed you to the limits. Maybe your heart was just broken and that trickled down into like so many other aspects of your life that just affected everything and called for every ounce of like strength you had. But I really feel like you've been through a lot. I feel like you've probably, like, you need the rest, you need the recovery, or you're kind of on the path of doing that currently. But there's been a lot that's been taken from you recently, or maybe over the course of the last year. But okay, so if you're here, we're asking about fall, and we want the good omens. We want the cards that are going to give you an exciting message, because I see now where you've been. I see what you've been going through. So let's get some hopeful energy and input from spirit about like what you can look forward to, because I want you to look forward to this fall. I want you to see it as this like your time, your moment, your light. You're going to be, if it's like, if you want to be center stage, if you want to be the one that everyone sees, if you want it to be your show, if you want to meet the person that you're supposed to be with, like, I just feel like almost anything you ask for or wish for, you're going to get, because I get this sense of like, not like you deserve it more than anyone else, but you've been through it. And as a result of that, it's yours for the taking. It's going to like be presented to you almost on a platter, and it is truly yours for the taking. So, I'm going to ask, what can you look forward to? Like this fall, what can you look forward to? Okay, so we have 4 of Pentacles, the Hangman, 2 very similar and strong messages, and we have King of Pentacles. Okay, so 100% you can look forward to feeling unstuck. You don't have to be the one that sacrifices. You don't have to be the martyr anymore. You don't have to be the one that lays in wait, that holds tight to all your resources. You can start enjoying yourself. You don't have to constantly overanalyze every situation to see if it's right or wrong, or if it serves you or serves someone else. I just feel like you've been very much in this holding pattern. Things have been, I think they've been tough, but this part's ending. I think you're finally going to get to have fun. You're going to get to enjoy yourself. You have racked your mind. You've been through it. You've questioned all the things about life and love and the universe. And now I think you're going to actually get to move around. You're going to get to have fun. You're going to get to step into this new, exciting, almost like existence. And if this sounds crazy and none of it tracks, then it's not your pile. But if you are feeling this, it's just something to say there's like a rebirth coming your way, a regeneration, whatever you want that to be. It's yours and it's coming. And this veil of darkness is going to be lifted. You are going to emerge luminous. Truly, that's the message. We could end the reading here, and that's the message. King of Pentacles, this is a lot about stability. This is home. This is work, money. Like, this could absolutely represent a very like stable, capable partner, someone who can more than provide. And this is a father figure. This is like an amazing partner. There's just so much stability here. And with that stability is hope, excitement. That's when you can step into the fun and like really enjoy kind of like the fruits of your labor. So I see very good things coming your way, and I see change. Like, that's the thing. There's change coming. That's what this death card is. It's absolutely change. And I'm not going to say the word rebirth one more time, but I really want to. It's like, I want to say it, every time I describe something, but good things are coming. I want to ask Spirit, like, what's a sign? How are you going to know that this is, like, how are you going to know it's your time? Because I think for you, you've been in this almost like laying in wait. I don't think things have been very exciting for you. I think everything has felt like a job. Everything's felt like it's a task to be completed. Everything's just felt laborious. But how are you going to know when things are going to start when you're going to start having fun, when you're going to start enjoying yourself, when you're going to look in the mirror and feel beautiful, when you're going to meet your person, or whatever it is, like fall out of a depression, whatever it is, like how are you going to know? What are some signs? And let's see, we have Ace of Cups, which is really just the emergence of all things, of all feelings you're going to start to feel. And not only are you going to start to feel, but that feeling is going to feel good. This is like, I don't know, it makes me think of someone crying watching a movie or a show. It's like, maybe it's a movie you've seen 10 times and all of a sudden you see it and you start crying, but those tears like release something and you feel better for it. It's just these emotions, like this rush of emotions that are going to start coming to you that you haven't really experienced or felt in a long time. And it's going to feel very, very good. It's like happy tears. It's, I don't know, I could paint this picture of it that doesn't sound good, but it is that it's like that good cry that releases everything. And it can very well happen when you're alone, when you least expect it, when you're driving, when you're hiking, when you're reading, watching TV. But I just feel like you're going to feel this rush of emotion that is going to be foreign. And when this happens, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is it. This is different. Something inside me has changed and shifted. And I'm now like just re-emerging different. Okay, what's another sign that things are really changing? And 10 of Wands. This is that weight, that taxing, laborious weight, that everything feeling like it's kind of like a curse or a cross to bear kind of thing. That feeling it's not going to be with you anymore. You're not going to feel so burdened, so quite literally weighted down. If you just sometimes feel like you're like walking through molasses or like you're just have a lead foot, I just feel like you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel like things are easier and more effortless. And you know what? This could happen after your amazing cry or this kind of like revelation you have where all of a sudden you feel things differently and you feel a lot and it feels good. This really like there's, in a weird way, I feel like you're going to get this rush of endorphins, and I don't know why or how or when, but I do think it's going to be a gift, and this is going to set off a whole new pattern for you. There's going to be like this, when things like a cascade of just good happenings, or a building up of like just many small events that are going to lead to a big thing, but it's going to feel amazing. And yeah, okay, so we came here because it's really about love and relationships. But I think this is about you opening yourself up without sounding super lame or cheesy to let this in, and you're going to look better. You're going to feel better. So you're going to look better. And I'm not saying this has anything to do with looks at all, but when you look better and you feel better and you feel better and you look better, I think your life is just a little bit better. And I do think that you're going to experience all these betters, and that's exciting. So yeah, good for you. Okay, I want to gift from Spirit, because I really want to give you something else really good, because saying that you have like an endorphin rush coming your way is pretty vague, but I really, really see this for you. And it, like I said, I think it's just going to hit you. It's going to be unexpected, but this is absolutely a sign. But let me get a gift from Spirit. And this is 8 of Pentacles. So this is like, to me, the 8 of Pentacles is kind of, it is the beginning of like your hard work paying off. It is that like you've been working towards this. You've been building this. You've been laying the groundwork, the foundation. Like you're finally starting to see like literally the fruits of your labor. This is what I see in the 8 of Pentacles. So as a gift from Spirit, maybe you do feel like you've been in a holding pattern. Maybe you have been like, maybe your love life has sucked and your career has also felt like it's not going anywhere. But one of these things, or both of these things, is the thing you've been putting work towards. Let's say it's your career. It is going to pick up. Things are going to change. Things are going to happen. It's something that you want to happen. It's something that is going to give you so much life and inspiration that you're going to feel like completely just revitalized as a result of it. So this is your gift. And I just know, like, even though I haven't talked directly about love or relationships, this is leading to that. This is leading to you being in the relationship you want, meeting the person you want. This leads you there. And yeah, so I want to get I've been getting these timing cards, and they're moon cards. So most of these have like phases of the moon, and then the other have goddesses. So if I get a goddess card, I'll also get a moon card to give a timing on this. But when can you really look forward to, like, I'm just going to ask, meeting the person you want or finding yourself on the path to that relationship, that space that you want to hold, romantically speaking. So let's see what this card says for you. This is supermoon. Okay. I am magnetic to what I want. I repel what I do not want. I do not have my moon deck in front of me. I do not know when the next supermoon is, but hold on, bear with me. I have a card here. Okay, so there is a supermoon in 2022. Okay, well, actually, we already had it. It was in July of 2022. That was the last supermoon. Okay, let's get another card because I don't know what to say about that. Okay, sorry, I just totally spaced out. This does not mean it's not going to happen. Let's see here. Okay, let's get another card. Waning Crescent 5. So this is basically like 11 or 12 days around after the full moon. You could meet someone or find yourself in the situation where you're going to you're going to be in this space. It's going to be a situation regarding love and relationships that's going to make you happy. And here's the thing. I pulled the supermoon card. I'm not going to ignore it. I don't believe, don't totally take my word for it, but I have a chart in front of me. I don't believe there's another supermoon in 2022. There's one in 2023. I don't know what month, but let's just say something very lovely and rewarding and amazing is going to happen to you around the supermoon in 2023. It could absolutely be something that piggybacks off of the fact that you do step into the romantic energy around the waning crescent, the 5th day of the waning crescent, like I said, which is roughly like 11 or 12 or 13 days after the full moon. So there are 3 at least full moons this fall, and you have a nice amount of time to embody these, to find what is supposed to come to you. The point I'm trying to make is, I don't know if it's going to be the first full moon, the second, or the third, or the fourth, but you have many options to find the thing that you're supposed to find. And I am going to apologize because when I realized there wasn't a supermoon in 2022, I've been distracted ever since. But I'm not distracted. I'm not thinking of things outside of this reading. I'm like even more hyper focused on this reading. It's a distraction. I feel a lot. It's this sense of, I know there's like a powerful message that these timings, they mean something for you. And I can't really explain that, but I do want you to remember that the supermoon, which would be in 2023, and about 11 days after one of the full moons in fall, is going to be of like substantial goodness for you. And I do think that you're going to find the things that you want, and some real rewards are coming your way. And I believe that. I believe that message is in these cards. I believe you have a lot to look forward to, and things are going to start. You're going to start seeing that. You're going to start getting rewarded and feeling rewarded, and it's going to feel good, and it's going to be validating. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I really do, and I wish you the best, and I would love to read for you again. If you feel like liking, subscribing, commenting, it would really help me out. So I would really appreciate it. But thank you so much, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye, Tarot. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. This reading is high hopes for this fall, and it's a reading about love and relationships, and it's just it's going to show you, like the 3 before it have, what you can look forward to this fall. And it's coming from a place of love and romance and something to do with your connection that you have or seek or want. Anyway, it'll be an interesting reading like the others have. Okay, this is the card that was laying right here. You picked this pile, and I'm going to use this as your like signifier card. It's going to show me your like the energy that you're going to be holding this fall, romantically speaking, and hopefully this has like a positive message behind it. Okay, so this is the 6 of succulents, and so which is 6 of cups. Sorry, I just lost my mind for a second. The 6 of cups it's like a child, like it's a simplicity. It's a simple form of happiness. It is like simple pleasures is what I've called the 6 of cups. It reminds me of the things that, like, whatever brought you joy as a child, whatever you loved as a kid, you're going to get to experience and love again. But this is a card, like this is a reading about love and relationships. So it's not really, I don't think you felt that as a kid. So to bring this like full circle, the cups they are emotions, they are romance, they're feelings, they're like that, the endorphins that come along with feeling the things you want to feel and saying the things you want to say and like having those kind of romantic moments. I really think this is like, I don't know, there's a sense of safety, there's a sense of security, there's a sense of like feeling complete. And maybe it is that simplicity. It's weird to talk about like a child and romance in the same thread, but really it's just that sense of feeling very safe. That childlike wonder that, okay, I'm going to stop talking about children. I really, because I see in this card how you're just going to be happy. Okay, you're going to be happy, like full stop. Something to do with relationships, you're going to be very happy. And I am going to see in a card what this energy is going to be that makes you happy. What energy is this person going to hold? And, you could be, because I feel like there's this fogginess around this right now, you could be in a relationship right now and waiting for this relationship to go somewhere or to take off and kind of like waiting for your person to come around. And I believe based on this that they would, or you will meet someone that embodies this. And this energy that you're going to like, this satisfaction you're going to get out of your partner, this space they're going to hold is time. And this is discipline. So it's interesting. There's like okay, so let's say you're with someone now who is kind of all over the place, isn't giving you the focus that you, or anything that you truly not only need or desire, but like deserve, that the thing that really, like the thing that you want and need and desire, and maybe you're not getting that. You are going to get that. And I think this person is going to really focus on you. They're going to focus on, there's a sense of a timeline here. And because I had this thing about kids in the beginning, I don't really like talking about like people starting a family because it's so unique to every individual and it's so sensitive. So I really don't in any way want to like put it in that direction, but there could be an energy here around like someone finally committing to your timeline. I guess that's it, your timeline, whatever that is. Like, I want to get married. Yes, I do want to have so many kids. I want to have another kid, but there's just this timeline. And I think that's really what it is. You're going to find this person is finally going to respect what you want and when you want it. And they're going to be able to like rise to the occasion, let's say. So there's a sense of someone finally maturing, growing up, like seeing the big picture, seeing you, like just realizing the gift that, that is you, that stands before them. And this is going to make you very happy. You're going to feel this just glee, this elation. And yeah, so there's a connection here, but I really feel like this is someone you already have a connection with. This feels like a connection that's already established, and you're going to see what you want out of it. This is going to be the thing that you've been wanting so bad from this person and this connection. If you're not connected to someone now, maybe you have a timeline, and maybe you'll meet someone this fall that can adhere to that. And I don't mean like you get married this fall, but I mean like you meet someone that makes, all the things you want possible, and whatever that means. So, okay, I want to see you in 3 cards, like kind of romantically speaking, your energy there. The Sun, that's a beautiful card. The Tower, that's a terrifying card. Just kidding. I love the Tower, but it is definitely a card that can evoke fear in some people. Okay, well, they always say, any book on tarot, anyone who knows about tarot, the Sun is it's like one of the most powerful cards in the whole deck. It's one of the brightest, most amazing cards, and it can literally trump the energy of any cards that are around it. So if you have the Sun and the Devil here, the Sun would overpower the Devil. And so what I'm taking out of this is right now, I do think things are pretty actually decent for you right now. The Tower is very much this kind of this fresh start, this sort of letting something crash and burn, living, let live, live and let die, and then starting fresh. I like the Tower for that reason. I love change. I love new beginnings. I love excitement. I love the unknown. And the Tower represents all those things. So I do think right now, I think you're hopeful. I think you're in a pretty good place. I just think you're hopeful. But this would tell me that you're at a place where you'll do what it takes to get what you want. You know what you want. I think you are doing a pretty good job of pursuing it. I don't think you're totally lost and just without direction and just I think you're focused. Let's put it that way. And I think you would be willing to cut anyone in your life who wasn't serving you. And that's, I think more people should do that. So I like that. But I really think you've just been taking stock and inventory of what you want and what you have and where you want to be and what it's going to take to accomplish that. And I just think you're ready to do whatever it takes. And the Two of Wands here is also, it does speak to that, you're almost in this planning phase, this assessing, gathering the data, really studying the landscape, where do you want to go? It's almost like you're very serious right now, and it works right now that this Time card would be the person that you would find, the energy they would embody, because this is no nonsense. This is someone who absolutely gives a fuck. This is someone who wants to be here for you, who wants to make you happy, who wants to work with you. And I see you being very fulfilled. This card, it's there's a fulfillment coming your way. There's a sense of satisfaction. There's a wholeness. There's this, things are going to be good. And you're positive. You would you take things in stride. You're very I don't know, you're just very cool, collected, calm, whatever. I like your energy, but I also like that you know what you want and you're going after it. So, okay, I want to see your near future, and this fall, what's coming your way? What can you look forward to? Let's see what we have here. So we have the Fool, which to me is absolute adventure, new beginnings, fresh starts. The Hermit, okay. So many major cards. Okay, and then we have the Eight of Swords, which is a little different. Okay, but in the thread of asking a question about what you can look forward to, what's coming your way, I do think fresh starts. I do think the new beginnings, the adventure, the unknown, but with a very positive spin. And the Hermit tells me with this excitement, there will also be a slowing down. There will also be things will get reshaped. You'll be seeing things differently. There'll be a reassessment. Look, I'm going to say, if you're here because you want to get married, because you want to start a family, because you want to buy that home and get a bunch of pets with that person, or whatever that means to you, the starting a family, I really feel like you have this new and exciting adventure. Like seeds are getting planted, like baby seeds are going to start growing roots for you. And that can mean so many different things, but I really see this, and I feel like you are someone who, you want this. This message isn't for everyone. Not everyone wants this. Some people want, just pure and sheer excitement with no strings attached and no responsibility, but you want the responsibility. You want the hard work that pays off. There's this, and I feel like you want happiness and joy, but you don't necessarily want you don't want to ride the roller coaster of like endorphins. You don't want the highs and the lows. There's this, you just feel very stable. You feel like you know what you want. You feel very positive, and you are willing to endure to get it. And yeah, so the Eight of Cacti, generally the Eight of Swords is like a card of feeling trapped, but you're not actually trapped. It's like feeling like maybe you're in a conundrum that really isn't that complex, like the answer's right in front of you kind of thing. So I will say the answer's right in front of you. If there's something you've been just like stuck on, the answer's right in front of you. And I'm like, I don't know, like maybe you really want to get a certain kind of dog. I mean, very vague here. You want to get a certain kind of dog, and the people that you wanted to get this dog from, this like pure breeder or whatever, I don't know, they stopped breeding dogs. Well, maybe the answer, it's so obvious. Maybe there's like a humane society right down the street from you. Like there's your answer. Go to the humane society. I don't know if that dog's going to be there, or that breed of dog, or a dog that's even better for you. But this is kind of where what I see out of this card. If there's been like something that has just been kind of a problem that's been sticking, just look at it from a different angle. There's kind of this like linear thinking aspect to this card where I think there's a simple answer right in front of you. So I'm not going to talk about that anymore because I feel like harping on it, and I feel like giving other examples, and I just don't think it's necessary. But I guess I'll say I feel a very strong message about this card, and this could be the thing that ties all this together. Like, yeah. Okay. So I want to see, how are you going to know this fall when things are going to really start clicking for you? Because they absolutely are. And you're positive, and I feel like you would remain positive. If this took 10 years, you'd remain positive. Like you are, but you want it, and you're here for a reason. So how are you going to know? What are some signs from Spirit that things are starting to take off? So we have the Seven of Wands, and we have the 10 of Wands. Okay, so absolute action, absolute passion. This is the wands they're all doing, they're all action. And by action, I mean like this isn't the thinking on something, this isn't the planning, this is like the doing part of it. So I think like when you find yourself kind of like in this, I'll do whatever it takes, the Seven of Wands is this sort of like, it's a standing your ground. It's holding tight. It is not relenting. It is this like, I will stick this out. And then the 10 of Wands is a very beautiful card, and the 10 of Wands is, I was confusing it with the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is a very beautiful card. So is the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Wands is a bit of a struggle. The 10 of Wands is like, you've done so much, and now there's still even more that you have to do. When you feel like, because this is a gift from Spirit, this is about timing. If you start to feel like this sun energy that you hold is starting to like fade, or if you start to feel like, okay, the struggle's real, I'm really in it. Like I'm getting tested almost. I'm getting pushed to my limits. I really think that is the sign of like, okay, things are going to change now. And you know what, it's almost like this is a test, and I don't necessarily like feel like we get tested well, I do think we get tested a lot, but it's not something I really ever talk about. And it's like almost not really for me to say that you are being tested. But if you feel like, I'll say that you're just being really challenged, that things are challenging, and maybe you have to prove that you want this bad enough, that you have to really stick this out. You have to like really prove that, I don't want to say that you're worthy, but just that you will, that it's something you really want and you're ready for. When you feel that, which is going to be hard, I really think this is a sign that things are going to start clicking for you. And this message here is totally opposite of all the other piles. So much so that like this sun energy that you hold, you might start feeling like you might wake up one day and feel like you don't embody the sun. You might feel a little bit more like you're embodying the tower. Like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't know if I have it in me. Maybe I'm on the wrong path. Maybe I'm pursuing the wrong thing or whatever. But to me, that is that you have to just push through that. That's kind of the 10 of Wands energy. Like, just get through it. Keep pushing. Put the energy in. Keep doing. I think it's going to pay off. I think this is your, I guess, test, for lack of a better word, whatever that means. And I want this for you because as heavy as this sounds and how almost unexciting it sounds to someone this isn't their pile, let's say, this is a very, very happy, positive, good message. And I do think fall is going to bring all the things you wanted. I think things are truly going to click for you this fall. And like after fall comes winter, and with winter we have all sorts of holidays and the emergence of spring and the new year. And everything's on the up. So I really do feel like you've got a very exciting ride ahead of you. Okay. I want a gift from Spirit, and then I'm going to get a timing message for you. So for Spirit, your gift is the wand again, the Page of Wands. And this to me is like, go with your heart, follow your heart, go with it. That passion, that raw passion, as misplaced as it may feel, just chase it, go after it, stay in hot pursuit, do what it takes. There's so much fire on the table. There's so much energy. There are passions or feelings. And I do feel like this is all an emotional journey for you. This is being driven by a want, by a need, by something that is very like close to your heart. It is emotional. And you're going to get to this happy place, this beautiful, simple, happy place, this life of just, I don't know, joy or whatever it is to you. It's going to start happening. Okay. And timing, I've been getting these timing cards. They're these moon cards. So they're like phases of the moon, and some are goddess cards. So if I get a goddess card, it means something, but then we'll go into a phase of the moon card for timing. And this will be like, when can we really, take this with a grain of salt, but in fall, what moon cycle can you look forward to something like really starting to click and happen? And it would be great if that cycle falls around the time that like you feel this just weight, like you're just made of lead, then you'll know like, yes, I'm ready. It's happening. Like the change is happening. It's almost like you have to go like through all the shit to emerge. But I do think things are going to really be amazing for you. And I think they're amazing now. It's just, I feel like they might get a little tougher before they get better. But we're not talking about this like, 10-year plan. We're talking about like a very quick, like this is going to be quick and it's going to be good and it's going to be great. Okay. So timing. Okay. So we have waning gibbous 2, which is I accept and create more flow and pleasure in my life. So waning gibbous is basically like 2 days after the full moon. So we have quite a few full moons. Well, quite a few. I think we have 4 full moons in fall. And they're all pretty much in the beginning, like the first quarter of each month, more or less, which is pretty big. But where am I going with this? So basically a couple days after the full moon is when you might see some like pretty exciting / epic change. And if you don't discredit all this reading, I still really believe in. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked this. I hope it meant something and it makes you, gives you some kind of hope or something. So I hope you get what you want. I'm certain that you will. Okay, please like, subscribe, comment, interact with this in any way you feel appropriate, and I look forward to reading for you again. Thank you. Goodbye.